Hello everyone, and welcome to another M7 News Patch Notes. Today we're going to be covering Detroit's 1.06 Patch Notes and Update by Quantic Dreams. And we're going to start off really quickly with looking at the Twitter. Now, Twitter gave us just nothing, pretty much, and you can see right here I went directly to Quantic Dreams. And they didn't have really anything that was updated past what we already don't know, and the little bit of situations that have been updated and tweeted to them. But nothing announced by them. So the next one past that is directly Detroit by themselves. And again, their last one was talking about the 24th and really introducing the game. And I think the last time past that, any actual news came out was when they introduced Chloe. Now, another fun point that I got, and I'm saving the last for the very end and the best inside of these patch notes so we can all absorb this information. So 1.6, even though it may say on the PlayStation that it's very just many bugs fixed in imports, and I'll show you that at the very end when that syncs up. But you also have the update right here where it says from Reddit. Now, I trust Reddit. Reddit, for the most part, is a collective of a lot of people that are just coming together and really understanding what the problems are and talking about it. So when people talk about the fugitive on the run and the battle for Detroit and Kara leaving Detroit now being fixed, that, in general standpoint, brings down to one of the last pages that we will check out that gives that it does fix that for one split second because it removes it from the physical game. But there is a lot of fun factoids that people kind of come into. And again, spoiler alert, if you're not wanting to spoil it, you should probably just put your fingers in your ears and go la 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 as we go over this and close your eyes and then open your eyes right about now. You should be fine. Give yourself 5-10 seconds. But this is pretty much the thread that you can kind of see. It goes for days right now, for just the last few hours that comes into it. So you can definitely check that out if you wanted to with the Reddit page. Just literally type in, Detroit Become Human, and you'll end up coming down to these, which is pretty sweet. Past that, what I was able to find was this one, where it's basically gave down to a detail of what the final point. Now let's zoom in a little bit. Let's really see. Now, this one was more of a situation where it kind of detailed what it was. The size was about 200. It wasn't too horribly big, but it wasn't too horribly small either. It was definitely something that kind of opened an eye. It wasn't a 64 or 100 megabyte thrown in, but it was still small in relative terms. And it was more of a flow chat, probably more a patch hole to make sure it's not accessible. Some golden eye, we're just going to take out the boat to our secret compound that everyone knows is an Easter egg type situation. Drop it, comment, and interface with the awesomeness of if you know what that really is. If you do, seriously, I would love to hear, chop it up with you in a comment. But as I keep continuing down to the flowchart of what it basically says is the same exact things. Is that it's fixing issues, that it's removing a bogey node, and that it's going to import that point from the fugitive. So it's kind of really well known that this is going to be removed. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to this one just because I like to throw in the flair of everything that rolls into it. And this one is just same exact information. You bugged, human, import, same exact thing except for very less situational points. Since you come down to here where it says visual settings, performance and that, but I don't know. Sometimes this place is a hit and miss. Maybe this is just a copy and paste that they put into it, but I was just throwing it in for flair. Just for the simple reason of putting contrast of the good, the bad, the ugly of the patch notes. That's why we get down. So the best I saved right here, which is just your friendly wiki. As it comes down to, and it gets down to the very nitty gritty, just basic simple. As we saw what happened inside of 1.5, where it fixed to avoid players getting stuck, it became in the 1.5 visual settings, and it added the various stability imports and the Detroit Become Human fix of a number of minor issues. So there was a little bit things that added onto past that. So now if you're watching that, you're going to find the tail end of what ended up being patched directly with all the information that trickled out through people interfacing with it. That's what I like about Wiki, is the adding points. But this one just gives you the remove the unobtainable node from the fugitive on the run, battle for Detroit, Kara leaving Detroit. So they just removed it because unfortunately it isn't obtainable. So if you wanted to get to that, unfortunately you can't. But that pretty much ends where we need to get towards the slideshow. And now we can get back down to this point in the show, where we actually get down to the situation of where it says in the very top, right up there, to 1.6. Eventually, maybe you'll get down to that, but it's 1.06, which is the many fixed bugs and imports. So, if you're looking for your information in the one-stop shop, if it didn't fix that, if it's still broken, leave a comment, let me know what's going down. I would love to hear it and chop up shop with the information of like everyone on the internet. So, as usual, I will ask, leave a like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is MacGyver7th from M7 News signing out, saying have a nice day and keep it classy. And we will always be bringing the cutting edge news to you as we get them. I was very excited to see this as the update, and I wanted to push this out as soon as possible for the people to see what was out there and the information that's out there. So if you're curious, this is what I found out so far, and I will be looking into it to see if there's any more, just kind of like how I found out the 1.5 as I looked into this that had been more freshly updated. So I always like to till the soil to tell you what's going down. So catch you guys and gals later, and always remember, keep it classy, San Diego. I know, I'm taking Ron Burgundy's spot, but it's hella funny. I always wanted to say that. It's like a digital anchor, if you really... Anyways, before Baxter comes out of nowhere and attacks the heck out of me, I'm just going to go ahead and say, this is M7 News signing out and saying have a nice night, or have a nice portion of the day, wherever you are, and have good vibration.